What's up, guys? I was just taking this moment, this magical snowy moment, to take some photos of my deck because I still need to do that and put them on my site. I mean, I have some on there, but they're not like the final product or whatever. So I was just like in my little woods by my house and just trying to get some good shots, but like ice is very like slippery and stuff slides, and plus I'm kind of like paranoid about the wet like ruining anything, but so far everything's good. But it's just like really pretty, like the sparkles of the snow and stuff, so it's just like I've been needing to do this anyway, so why not? But that's what I'm doing. And I just thought, like, what if I just pull a little card and see what happens? So I'm just gonna see what comes up. I haven't done a reading in a while. I mean, I recorded one like recently, but it's just like I would do this thing where I would like record and try to come back to YouTube, and then like I just wouldn't feel like it was, I just wasn't ready, you know? So I don't know, I'll just kind of see what happens and then see how I feel, and then if it's good, I post it. If not, I just kind of don't. But yeah. So I don't know. What's the little message for us today, Spirit? Our highest good. Well, that could be a horrible shuffler, or I could just take that. But othering. Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a whole, like with the world and the state that it's in and stuff, like it doesn't take much to feel the division and like the, I don't know if probably not everybody's familiar with that term othering, but it's something I learned about in therapy school. I can't remember like the exact source, but there was like a really good article. I can't remember it right now, but anyway, if you probably Google it, you could find it. But anyway, it just basically means, like, it stands for how we like treat people that are different than us as like something other, and it kind of like when we feel that way about people, it makes it harder for us to like relate and want to understand, just because we've like lumped them into this category of something like separate than us. So I mean, on one hand, I think like the guidebook talks about this, but like it's like, of course, like our minds like can only hold so much like stimuli or whatever. Like we have our limits, so it makes sense that we would like oversimplify stuff just to like function pretty much. But I don't know, I don't think it's not always like the best thing to do with like human beings, because like I don't know, like just because you think you know something about somebody and you like create this idea in your head about like who they are and what they stand for, like that doesn't necessarily make it true. And like I personally have found that like people are way more complex than like my ideas of them. So I don't know, I just feel like it's always good to be curious about people and not like, I guess, like plaster all of your like preconceptions, is that the word? Preconceptions onto them. Pre-notions? I don't know these big words. But yeah, so that's basically what that's about. And I just feel that like on a bigger level, it's like there's a lot of just like judgment and lack of understanding. And I mean, on one hand, I understand that like everybody has their own unique experience, and so we're never gonna like fully understand another human being, but I think it's important to try. And like I still need to work on this too, because like on my own like, I guess, like journey of growth and stuff, like I've figured out kind of some things that work for me, and like I don't think it's just exclusive to me. Like I'm sure there are things that like that help me that help other people, so like I try to like share those things, but like I gotta remember that like that specific approach, like it might work for me and some other people, but like it's not like a one, like I know this, But like sometimes I've realized like in some of my like personal relationships how I like, I don't know, like I just kind of unknowingly like have these expectations that like people should be able to like, I don't know, like do the things that the way that I do them. And like mostly like with my partner, like whenever there's like issues between us, like I kind of think one way and I'm like, well, just think about it like this. And then like he's just kind of like not having it. And like I gotta be patient and remember that like not everybody is on the same level. And I don't mean that by like saying anybody's better or worse or whatever, but I mean there is sort of like a, I guess everybody's on their own path and like they're not ready for like everything at the same time that maybe you would be. So it's like you gotta be like open-minded and like honestly, like I feel like this is gonna sound really cheesy, but like as loving as possible, because people like that's, I feel like at the core that's what everybody is like seeking anyway. Like if they get upset and like they're having a bad time, it's like they don't need somebody to tell them to not have a bad time, like in so many words. Like, so yeah, I think it's good to like I said, remain curious. Don't assume like what is gonna help somebody or like fix whatever's going on. And I don't know why I keep like holding this thing without like, yeah, I just kind of went on a tangent there. But I might read this just cause. Let's see. It's not like I lost all my progress. It's okay. Okay, I found it easy. Only like a couple pages. So it says, just as there are certain times, I'm sorry, I'm adding words to my own book. Just as there are times we instantly click with certain people, there are those times when we just can't seem to relate to someone whatsoever. When this happens, often our first instinct is to categorize that person as an other or someone not like us and exclude them from our lives. Most likely, this reaction towards difference happens by default. We can only take in so much information at a time, so our life becomes easier by categorizing people and things based on what's familiar to us. Something unknown can feel like a threat to our carefully crafted sense of safety and take more time and energy to understand. Another consideration is that our view is inevitable, Another consideration is that our view is inevitably narrowed due to societal programming and whatever perspectives we were exposed to in our lives. What we know can seem like the end-all be-all when it comes to the way things are and should be. Any variance from familiarity can be hard for some of us to accept or want to tolerate. However, choosing not to consider other beings does not make them disappear, and by ignoring them, we miss out on an opportunity to consider the full complexity and scope of us all as human beings. One commonality we share is that we all have our blind spots. Being different does not have to mean anyone is invalid. What if instead of using our differences as a disconnect, we use them as a way to connect and help each other learn and attempt to understand? What if when we were met with difference, we replaced the word other with another? Clever. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. It's like, I feel like I could just go on and like repeat myself, but I think that is like the overall issue. I feel that's what I'm seeing like in the world. I mean, I feel like it's probably not a new thing, but anyway. So what's one step, spirit, that we can take today to lemonade? Let's see. If I could learn how to shuffle, it's the cold, man. It's the gloves. What's a step that we could take today in our lives? Whoever is listening and whoever this applies to, and yeah, whoever this is for. Me included. What can I do today to help the world? Alright, I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Okay. I feel like that is like very clear, like when I see that. I mean, on the surface level, like of the card, it does, I don't know, maybe I'm just oversimplifying it, but it seems like such a simple message. It's basically like affirmation, you know, like making yourself feel better. But I feel like on a more like global scale or whatever, I feel like that is the cause, I guess, of the othering. Is like it all boils down to like a feeling of like insecurity, like within ourselves, and like because we wouldn't need to like put others down if we were truly like solid within ourselves. Like I think that belittling of other people and stuff, like it comes from like a deep need to like feel better. And I'm not like trying to judge here, because like we're all human, and like I have my weaknesses too, and like sometimes like it is, I don't know, like I'm thinking of just like venting. Sometimes we all get caught up venting, and just like you just feel good, like, you know, just not like tearing somebody down, but just feeling justified in your feelings, and just like, yeah, like that irritated me. And like you just kind of want some kind of like, I don't know if redemption's the right word, but like you feel like somebody like took something from you or something, like they hurt you, so you want like the upper hand, you know? But it's really like a false concept, because like nobody like really, I feel like nobody can really like take anything from you. Like this is like my mind is going in like a bunch of different directions and like out thinking what I say, so I'm trying not to say anything that's like, I don't know, I feel like yes, physically like people can take things from you or whatever, but like at the core, like the soul level or whatever, like nobody can really like take that from you. Like, so there's really not a need to like try to have the upper hand or like be better or like separate yourself from something, like, because we are all like, I mean, you might not believe this, but I believe that we're all like part of like the same stuff. Like we're just all like source spirit or whatever, like this nature and everything is. I feel like we're all just an extension of that. And so like nobody is like, there is no hierarchy or whatever, even though like humans I think have like kind of boosted themselves up, and it might sound offensive to some people who don't agree with that, but it's okay, there's plenty of other channels out there. But because I'm not trying to like say that I'm right or anything, this is just where I'm at. But like, I don't know, personally I do think like if we're able to like feel like, and I'm not saying feel better than anybody, but like just feel good about ourselves, like in a, I don't want to say healthy way because I don't like that word, but like just like if we were to see ourselves for like our true like value and essence and everything or whatever, like we wouldn't need to hate or like none of this like fighting and all that stuff will be necessary, because like we would understand that like when we hurt somebody else, like we're hurting ourselves and vice versa. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's bigger than this like little dinky video, but like I can't, I feel like my words are failing me, because like words are just words and they can't like capture it all. But hopefully I've said something of like sense in this video. So I don't know, I guess if I were to like try to keep simplifying this, I would just say like, I don't know, like I think self-reflection, self-awareness, acknowledging our pain, and like what we're making things mean like in our heads, because like we do have that power of perception and like meaning making. Like we can create things, like, and that can be harmful or like not. So I guess like just do as little harm to yourself and others as possible, and that will bring us all closer, man. And I know it's like easier said than done, because like we're working off like other people's pains and hurts and stuff that have been like we've basically been like steeped in like another person's like emotions and stuff, like just from like childhood and like the society we live in. So it's like it's kind of hard to like start fresh. Like you can't really remove yourself from the picture, like, but you can work with what you got and like be intentional with that. So I don't know, I feel like I need to just shut up because I'm just going on and on. But like I feel like I gotta bring up this card too, because like I didn't I'm not gonna read the thing. I feel like I want to, but it's fine. It was basically like about like the loyalties that we hold like with people and ourselves. Like we kind of can expect people to be a certain way, and like whenever they like break that, it's kind of like, I don't know, we kind of get upset because it's just not what we expected. But like I feel like we gotta like be willing to let ourselves and other people be different than what they've been, because I mean everything is like fluid, and like who you were yesterday is not the same person you are today, like technically, because things move and all that. So I don't know, I feel like it's not very eloquently put, but yeah. So like just be willing to like let things flow, like, and be what they are and not what you want them to be, and like yourself included. Like I said, like just because if you're feeling down right now, it's not always going to be that way, and there is potential for change, like always, because that is just like the nature of things, as I've said. So I just want to like make sure that I didn't forget anything like that I wanted to say about that affirmation card, because I feel like it, I don't want to just simplify like self-love into like, yeah, just write this thing about yourself and just feel better and it'll just fix it all. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna just read it, because if you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm just kidding. I mean that with love, like don't feel forced to stay here. But I'm just read it because I feel like I just write better than I speak, because like I can't like get everything out like with the pressure of the camera and stuff. But with these, I've like carefully like written them out, and like I feel like some of these, like, I don't know, I don't feel like it came from me. It's just kind of like a higher thing. So I'm just reading it, and that's not to be like tooting my own horn or nothing like that, because I'm not special. Okay. So anyway, it says, where's my quote? It says, words matter. Words have a substantial influence over our reality. They can empower us or constrain us if we let them. Our identities and all other aspects of existence are molded by the descriptions we use. Language can be very convenient in that way. Language can be very convenient in that way by helping us to simplify our broad experiences. Even so, words can never fully or accurately portray anything they attempt to describe. Yet another limitation: even if words were capable of this, any chosen description would be specific to whoever was doing the defining and their method of interpretation. Just as words have limits, so do our perceptions. It is impossible to notice everything all at once. By noticing one thing, we inevitably aren't noticing another. Despite these restrictions, we often define ourselves based on the perceptions of others. They can see us in ways we often can't see ourselves. While this can provide us a lovely opportunity, it can also be detrimental if we don't like what they perceive and we deem their single perception as all-encompassing of our identity. It can seem daunting if we think about someone else having the power to create a static view of us based on their limited perceptions. The flip side of this is that we too are just as capable of being the author of our identities. It is up to us to agree or disagree with whatever interpretations are presented to us. We don't need permission from anyone to perceive ourselves in a different light. No one is any more right than we are. Knowing the power of language and perception, what reassurance can we give ourselves to best suit us during life's necessary shifts? So yeah, I mean, in that one I focus more on like what other people think, but like I think it's easy for us to get stuck in a static view of ourselves sometimes and just feel like there's no hope because like it's just how it's always been. This is like the cards I was dealt, no pun intended. And like, how am I ever gonna get out of this? But like, there is hope, because if you had seen me like when I was a teenager, I literally like sat in my chair like this and I didn't talk. And I'm not perfect now, like I'm still kind of weird, but like there's hope if you're feeling stuck. So anyway, friends, I guess I'm gonna go and just enjoy this like snowy day, because like I gotta work in like an hour and it really sucks because I've enjoyed my time off, but all good things must come to an end. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Alright, sorry, I'm feeling like pumped. I'm gonna like get out here and go enjoy this crunchy. Do you hear the crunch? Okay, if you live in South Georgia and you know it doesn't snow, then you would understand, because like this is America. I'm just kidding. Alright, sorry. I did have coffee, but like there wasn't caffeine, so I don't know. But I hear the train coming, so that's my cue to split. Hope you have a wonderful day, and hope something in here was useful for you.